Alright, BobalosRex here, and today's Sunday, so it's a lore rant. So, hold up. The hair's coming out. Hold up. There we go. It's a lore rant, and we're gonna get spicy with this. Okay, because we're talking about this crystal. Okay, look at this crystal. I'm calling it a crystal. We don't know what it is. That's one of the questions. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a heads up. In today's video, we're going to be asking ourselves 3 main questions, and then to me, there's like a 4th question, so basically 4 questions. And I'm gonna be going through what we know as well in regards to some of these questions, and then a couple of theories in regards to possible answers, and then what I think could be the deal with this crystal. Now, I'm not going to be talking about the Arathi for the most part. I am going to mention them as far as the timetables thing. That will be saved for another video, but they're here. But this crystal is the main topic, alright? Okay, so let's get into it. What's the first question? My first question is, when did it land? When did it land? So what we know it has to be at least 15 years old. I definitely think it's more than that, but it's been here for at least 15 years, more than 15 years, because the Arathi have arrived 15 years. Okay, and this is what I'm going through right now is the information we know. This is the information we know. So we know it's been here at least 15 years, probably more. And 7 years ago, when the sword went into the planet, and this is learned through questing, it began to change from light to void. Okay? Now, what does that mean? I don't know. But it changes from light to void. It started after the sword. And the last 2 things that we know is clearly it's not natural. It's not a natural formation. And it landed here. So this crystal came from the great beyond and landed onto Azeroth. Alright? And the bottom part of it is in this cave, or in this hollow area in Azeroth, and the top part is in the ocean above it, off the coast of the Isle of Dorn. Now, real quick. So, if you crunch the numbers, so we head up to the top right here. So right here leads to right here. Okay? So that is like right there. Yeah. Just about here. Boom. Alright. So the crystal would be way off this way. Way off this way in the water on the island. Okay, I did kind of talk about this in the layers video, but we're going to get into more detail about the crystal. Okay, so that's where it landed. So, we know it's been here since 15 years. Technically, it could have landed here recently. I'll get more into it in the Arathi, but there was a vision of something landing and that could have happened recently. Okay? But let's go back. Let's go back in time. Back in time. So we got maybe 10,000, more than 10,000 years, probably about 15,000 years. That's when we got this new dragon stuff going on. So I'm going to say around then, in between 15,000 to 12,000, most likely, is what we're talking here. Kazalgar. We know, according to a book from Uldaman in the pre-patch of BFA, or what the fuck? In the pre-patch for Dragonflight, we got a book, okay, that talked about why the Earthen that are in Kazalgar came here. So the Earthen came to Kazalgar to investigate a geological anomaly. Okay? So, this theoretically could be the geological anomaly that caused the Earthen to head over here in the first place. Alright? Clearly, some geological stuff could be going on here. Okay? Being underground and all. But that may or may not be the case, because they talk about a fissure. Alright? I don't know what you'd call this, but this is a big freaking hole. So, the Earthen came here because of a geological anomaly, which could or could not be this. I'm not 100% on that right now, but I think it is likely. I do think it is likely that it was this. So they come here, and the crystal could have landed here at that time when the Earthen arrived. Or the crystal could have landed here at any point between the Earthen arriving here for a different geological anomaly, maybe what caused all this, or maybe the tree, or we'll talk about the tree a little bit more in a bit. But it could have landed in between one of these two time periods, but I doubt it. I think the crystal most likely landed a long time in the past, about 15,000, maybe more, give or take, between the 15,000 and 12,000 years. But it could have landed closer to when the Arathi came, technically. So it could have been the vision the Arathi have. More on that, the Arathi, in another video. When I get to that. But it could have been recent, but then that would relate to the Arathi. But I think this crystal is old. So we're going to continue with our questions. And our second question that we want to answer is, what is it? What is it? I mean, I'm calling it a crystal, but, like, crystal implies that it's just, like, an object, like a stone formation, which it's technically not. Like, that's not a stone formation. I mean, so it could, I guess it could be a rock from space, a light space rock, because we do know it turns from light to void. So the cosmic forces that are linked to this crystal are light and void. Confirmed. So it could just be a crystal formation in a... Here, let's bring it up now. So in a... Here. Oh, this is a cool Wowhead. So Wowhead here has videos of it changing from light to void. So here, I'm going to show that. So that's it, void. So this is it, void turning to light. Oh, here, that's off center. Here, so this is void turning to light. Alright. And as you can see, it's coming, what we think from the center, it could be coming from the top. Also, we don't know what the top looks like, right? So we see this point here. We could have a whole structure above it, theoretically. We are just seeing the point. And since it did stop, right? So you gotta think, it's hitting like a crust, a planetary crust. So it goes in, but it doesn't break all the way through. So either it's not very heavy and it didn't break all the way through and completely crater it out. The crust is thick enough to stop it from going all the way through if it is just a like a line crystal, or it could be a point with a fat back end, so it just hit and poked in and stopped. But yeah, we have a name for it. It's called Belladar. And here, the wiki even speculates about this. It could be one of the fractures of light that we read about in the Chronicles. And then they also talk about it being a Naru ship. Now, I don't really think it looks like Naru ships. But to be fair, it could look like the bottom, like what I was talking about here. So like the top half, clearly we don't see it's not the top half, but could the bottom, like, let me bring up the Vindicar. Yeah, see, even this, see, they look different. To me, this isn't Draenei ship. It could be the fractured light. And here's the thing. If this is a fractured light from the beginning of the cosmos, or whenever the light sent out its thing, they said the light sent out very early in creation. This thing is old. Okay? So, ship, object, or here's another thing. We do see it kind of do things in... So, sword stabbed the planet, it started acting up. If it's a ship, it would have been damaged that caused that. Okay, if it's an object, then was the object damaged? Like, how close are we to the sword or the planet? Like, is it really connected with Azeroth? Maybe these are what seeded world souls? But could this be a crystal creature? That's what I'm getting at. Could this thing be its own entity? I don't know. You know, apparently it portaled these people here. So it's either magical and activates on it on like a thing. They triggered an activation key. Beam me up, spaceship style. Beam them down. Or it's an entity and it was like, I need to move you here. You know, if it's related to that vision, then maybe it's a light thing being like, do this for me, blah, blah, blah. Alright. And that brings me to the third kind of question. Who sent it? Who sent? Okay? If it's a ship, if it's an object, sent from space from one of the cosmic forces, that's who we need to know. If it's a crystal creature, who created it? What was it born from? You know? But that brings me to the fourth question, which really kind of is the key. The fourth question to a lot of the things. Did it start as light, or did it start as void? Now you can say, hey, the Arathi showed up, it started as light. Clearly, it's been light all along. But we don't know that. We absolutely do not know that this has been light all along. You can assume that, but that would be a big assumption. We know it turns from light to void. We know it had been light in the past up into a certain point, and now it's turning light to void. Maybe it starts turning light to void more often, and then it sits for void for a long cycle, and then it starts turning light again. Maybe this is just part of a long cycle. Maybe the sword timing triggering this was just a coincidence. I don't think that. I think it's something to do with what this could be. But again, we don't know if this started as void or light. So, this is where we get into the real theorizing. Okay? So, let's say it started as light. Who sent a light ship? I already said I don't think it's Draenei. Could it be full Naru? Naru pretty much rips off of Draenei. Could this be the light sent from the light? Who sent it? Who's the light lord? I have on here, I think maybe Anshe. That would be cool. That would be cool. Alright. In Legion, it said that Elune created the Prime Naru. But in Shadowlands and BFA, Elune is more linked to life and being a life lord, part of the life pantheon. So I don't think she would have sent the crystal, but maybe she asked for help from the light, maybe Anshe, and he sent it as help to the planet very early on. You know, we have Elune linked to the moon, and to Azeroth. Clearly, this came from space. That, to me, would be why a light thing sent here, if it wasn't just one of the cosmic life shards. Because, again, I don't see this as a Naru or Draenei ship, unless it's, like, the bottom part. I mean, it could be. I don't see it. Okay. Now, why was it, if it was the light, okay, why was it sent here? To juice up Azeroth with the light? Maybe. Was it to help the tree? Because remember, we have the tree in this location, too. Was it to stop these bugs? Alright. I don't know. So for the light, I'm having trouble figuring out whys. Okay? I can think of a few who's. I can think of a few whys, but it's kind of fuzzy. But now we're going to get into the spicy stuff. Okay. What if this crystal started as void? Remember the mosaic I showed you last week? With the crystal with the spiders? Alright, remember that spooky thing? Yeah, let's see if I can find it again. Old God Mosaic. Or no. I got the easiest way. That's the wrong one. I need a chapter 3. Yeah, I'm bringing it back up. Sorry, I didn't think I'd use it, but then I decided to. Okay. This. Look at this. Ain't that suspicious? So, if this started as void, who could have sent it? Why? For what reason? Let's think about it. So, why does Zalatath want to go over here? Come over here? Why does Zalatath even know about over here? What has she done over here? Remember when we talked about whether this could be a spaceship or not? What if this is a void ethereal ship? Alright, we're going to be getting into more spoilers. I mean, we're already into spoilers, but we're going to be getting into more. But spaceship is one theory, but let's pull it back. Hold up. So, Dementius. Could Dementius have sent this as well? Between Void Ethereals and Dementius, that's who I'm thinking may have sent this if this was Void. Okay? Because this is clearly a Void thing. We know that the Void Lords originally sent the old gods. Or so we're told. Okay? They sent out the old gods and they infected worlds. Could we have seen other Void Lords send these Void Crystals? Again, we're operating if this was Void first. I don't know. I'm just theorizing. So, could he have sent Void Crystals? Yes. Now, again, could this have been an avoided Zalatath's spaceship to get here? Or maybe Zalatath's original form and it turned to light because she got turned into the dagger? I don't know. That's a crazy theory. Could this just be a transport medium? Now, the reason I'm thinking this could be a transportation medium is because, spoilers, we've seen hints of a possible ethereal raid in the future. Koresh. How could we get to Koresh? An interdimensional ethereal void spaceship. Crystal. Thingy. I don't know. We've seen this thing teleport stuff before. We've literally seen it teleport a group of humans down here from above. Okay? If this was Void, it could do it. For the Void. Now, why? I told y'all what I think this could be sent. Who I think could have sent this here if it was Void. Why would they have sent a Void Crystal here? Clearly with this, maybe to transform and evolve the Akir. Maybe early Azeroth, old gods are here. They're like, we need some juice. Maybe the ethereal thing had already happened. They're like, yo, Void Lords are like, yo, let's send them the extra juice. And we got the Void Crystal. Alright? The Void Shard. And they souped up the bug people, you know? And we got the Akir. That could be one reason. And that's it. That's it. We've gone over everything. All the questions. So now it's up to you. When do you think it landed? Again, I think it landed late. It could have landed early or anywhere in between. Alright? But I think it landed a long, long time ago. What do you think it is? My main theory is I think it's just a crystal object, and it clearly has teleportation powers in some way, and it's a light. It's clearly magical. Okay, some of these cracks got some extra to it. It's got runes on it and stuff. I mean, look at this. Clearly, someone made this. This is an object. Could it be a spaceship? Yes. Could it be a creature? Maybe. Alright. Who sent it? Was it the light? Or was it the void? You know? Hopefully, we'll probably find out by the end of the War Within. That I'm sure. But that's my theories. And that's the case of the Curious Crystal. To be solved in 11.2, 11.1. Who knows? Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.